Oh, you're here. I was just actively texting you. I need to start the meeting.
I was anonymous for a reason.
Very nice. All right. It is 7 o'clock, so I'm going to call our Tuesday, May 4th Common Council meeting to order. Welcome to all of our guests, and thank you for joining us this evening. If you would like to comment during the public comment section, there are these pink slips out in the hallway, and you can put them in the bin right by the podium. With that, Elissa, will you please take the roll?
Pat,
Here.
Wen,
Here.
Here.
Barth,
Here.
Wagner,
Here.
Schmid,
Here.
Wetzel,
Here.
Romline,
Here.
Thank you. And if you all would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. The first item on our agenda is the minutes of the council meeting from April 20th. Any comments or questions for any of those minutes? All right. Our next is comments and suggestions from citizens present. I have just one this evening, and it's Riley and Amelia. If you would please, wherever you are, come up to the microphone and state your name and address.
Hello, I'm Amelia Grayler. My address is 1205 Schiller Street in Watertown. I'd just like to start off by saying good evening to the City Council and everyone present. My name is Amelia Grayler, and this is Riley Capel. We are the appointed mentors of the new Watertown Youth Advisory Committee, also known as YAC. We are very excited to get this committee up and running, and for those of you that don't know or would like a refresher, these are a few of the goals and values of the committee.
So we want to incorporate the ideas and input of the youth in the greater Watertown community. With this, it would be an effort to have balance and strategic growth that would be beneficial for all generations.
We will accomplish this by being involved in the city government, community events, and other community service opportunities. We will be identifying problems, issues, and desires within the city. Along with solving problems throughout the greater Watertown community, we will seek to provide input on key issues and ideas. We will serve on special projects and groups and assist in community-sponsored events. Our goals throughout this will be to promote a positive environment for youth throughout the community.
Again, we look forward to getting this committee started and working with everyone involved. Our commitment to the community will be historic, and we are very honored to take this step for the youth and our community.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment? All right. We have no public hearings. Our next item then is the committee reports. We have the Finance Committee with the Joint Transit Commission from April 26th, Plan Commission from April 26th, and the Public Works Commission from April 13th and 27th. Comments on any of those?
Mayor?
Yes.
There are some corrections in the Plan Commission meeting for Arnett's name.
Okay. We'll make that adjustment. Thank you. Any others? Okay. We have no old business, and then we will go to communications and recommendations. And the first that we have this evening is the proclamation for Tuesday, May 4th, as Steve Hep Day, and to present a little presentation. I'm going to ask Chief Kaminsky and Senator Jagler to please come with me to the front. Excuse me. So I'm going to share a few words in just a moment, but first I would like to ask Senator Jagler to share a few, and then Chief Kaminsky, and then we'll bring up Mr. Hep.
Oh, awesome. I just want to say thank you to Steve on behalf of the community. Emily's going to talk a lot about the things that you've done for the city, and I don't want to be redundant on that because she has a better handle on all of the things that you've been involved, the time spent with the commissions, time spent with everything. But I just want to thank you on behalf of my family, as a close friend, but on behalf of the community as well. And we have a proclamation from the state of Wisconsin, as well as citation from the Senate. And I won't get into reading the whole thing because I'm sure that's going to be part of her presentation, but the last lines are, whereas the city of Watertown has declared today Steve Hepp Day because of these and the countless other contributions to the community. Now therefore, the members of the Wisconsin State Senate, on the motion of Senator John Jagler, do commend Steve Hepp on the occasion of Steve Hepp Day. And it's signed by the President of the Senate, Chris Kapinga, and myself. And we'd like to present you with this and to say thank you for all you've done for our community.
Steve, I just wanted to say a few words, and I wanted to thank you for all your years of service to Watertown. 13 years on the PFC, all 13 years I was here as an officer, as a sergeant. 3 years ago, you wrote a nice letter to our Police and Fire Commission recommending a captain for the chief's position, and that was me. That letter's on the desk. That letter sits in my office, and I appreciate that, Steve. I appreciate all that you've done for the city, for our department, being on the alcohol licensing board, all your advice there. So thank you, and happy Steve Hepp Day.
I did not poll a former Mayor David and plan on reading all the whereas statements, but now I feel like I have to, so. It is sincerely an honor for me and a privilege to be able to acknowledge Steve for his years of service and dedication to this city. While I have served officially with Steve for only 2 years, the impact I know he has had on this community, the respect our city team pays him, and the physical changes I've observed in the community over time, I knew I was lucky to serve alongside you. When Steve shared that his term ending at the end of this month would be his last, I admittedly had a bit of apprehension. I could stand here and share the things Steve has done, the items in the proclamation, so I guess I sort of did it, like the recruitment of our police chief and fire chief, things like the Marine Corps League Aero Park. But my apprehension really came from a place that you won't find in a park or in a newspaper. It came from the intangible, the incredible impact that Steve has made through his candor and his kindness. My team and I have worked hard to create efficiency, continuity, equitability, and growth, all while maintaining the foundational aspects of this community. And I know some of those things I was asking of my team were a bit different, but they graciously saw the vision, offered valuable insight, suggested new paths were necessary, and have really come along on the journey. When I bring that same vision and change to a long-standing committee member and an impactful person in our community like Steve, it can be a little scary. Will they see the vision? Will they come along? Well, Steve did, and he did so courteously and with incredible intellect and impact. He offered important lived experience, he tactfully changed parts of proposed changes, and he always kept me thinking of how the smallest change I can make can affect an entire industry. He not only saw the vision, he grew it. And he not only came along, but he was the first one in line to provide insight. Steve, your balanced, experienced, insightful, and thoughtful approach is not something we take for granted in government. I can say that for probably every government person in this room. The example you set for those that observed your service is a really high bar, and I thank you for that. I also personally thank you for your support. Prior to the pandemic, there was a tough issue that was getting quite a bit of attention, and you quietly pulled me aside, told me not to worry about it, told me you understood the situation we were in as a city and that I had your support. In that moment, that single act of kindness regenerated me. So when I say my apprehension comes not from a park improvement or a newspaper article, it's because what I think are some of the most impactful ways that Steve Hepp has affected our community. It's in the ways that are impossible to replicate exactly the way he does them. So it is sincerely an honor to acknowledge you today, to proclaim today, May 4th, as Steve Hepp Day, and to honor your decades of appointed service to this city, the numerous impacts you have made in your volunteer efforts, and the intangible characteristics that make a long-lasting impression. Thank you so much, and please come on up and say a few words.
Well, I'll make this short and sweet. First, I want to thank John and Emily and Rob. It was great working with these guys over the years. I'd also like to thank Mayors Krieger, Smith, and David that I worked with for the last 3 decades, and for allowing them to have faith in me to serve the community. It was just awesome. And you can't do it without your friends and family. Thank you.
We're going to take a few pictures.
Then come up, Sue. Why don't you come up, too? Well, how we?
I think Sue can come next to you. You go wherever you want to go. Come on down. Good?
Rob, you in here, too? Get the whole family in.
And I think what we'll do is we'll let you go back to your seat, and then the 3 of us can come by your family. Does that
Okay,
sound okay?
great,
And Jordan can
great.
take a picture there.
Thank you.
I'm not really going to dive in the front, but. Not a good look in his dress. All right. And maybe I can dip over to the other side too. This look okay for you? Yeah, we can do that. I think so. All right. Thank you. I mean, I trust you're staying for the whole meeting, right?
I've done all the legislation.
I'm just kidding. Well, we can take a moment if anyone needs to, would like to step up. All right. Thank you all so much. Our next item then is just an FYI. Yep. Maybe I'll wait one more second. Go ahead, Ryan.
Everybody's invited to the Silver Eagle, apparently.
All right. Bye, you guys. Thank you. This looks a little more familiar. Yeah. Feel free to come in and take a seat. All right, our next item on the agenda is just an FYI on the resignation notification from Alderperson Holthouse. And that leads us to our next item, which is the presentations by candidates for the 5th district. I know I see Mr., is it Licht? I should have asked. I know I see him here. Is Reed here? Mr., I'm going to say Reed because his last name has many letters. Let me make sure no one's not attending remotely. Is Mr. Niewodymaski attending remotely? Okay. Well, then we did intend to hear the presentations for the candidates in the order that they were received. So we had Mr. Niewodymaski on the list first, but again, not seeing him present. I would invite Mr. Licht up to the microphone. If you would, please just share a little bit about yourself with the council.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to address the council. My name is William Licht. My friends call me Will. I would appreciate that. I'll be brief and let my resume do most of the speaking. It details my civic and community involvement in a lot of detail that I don't need to go through, I don't think, with you. But I'll give you a little background. Susan and I moved to Watertown 28 years ago as 30-somethings with 3 small kids. Those kids are all grown and married and in their 30s now. I have one who was born in Watertown, and he's 20 years old and still lives with us, goes to university. Almost 3 decades after moving to Watertown, I finished my 40th year as an educator, or I am finishing it this school year. It's hard to believe 40 years have gone by. From a middle school teacher to a principal to a university professor to a university administrator. But I will tell you, my love is teaching, being in a classroom. Over the years, my responsibilities have grown and increased. I currently supervise over 100 employees and help manage a multi-million-dollar budget. Most of my days, however, are spent in solving problems for people. Early last week, I heard that there was an opening in District 5. Jill lives across the street from me, diagonally. I thought about the opportunity and asked some friends, and then I just waited, and every day ticked by last week until Friday. And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to call the city clerk and ask if anybody turned anything in. So I waited till noon, I waited till lunch, and I called her, and she said no. And so that was my deciding point. That was my determination. If no one turned something in by Friday noon, I would do that. I really was heeding the advice I had given my students for 40 years to get involved and make a difference. And I thought, well, why shouldn't I do that? After my recent bout with serious lymphoma, I've been blessed with a remission and clear scans, and so I think I ought to use the time I have, this little extra time, for something positive and to make a difference. I don't have any agenda except service and making a difference. I have no motive except appreciation and love for this community that I've lived in for 28 years. And I just want to thank you for this opportunity to speak with you tonight.
Thank you. All right. Make one final call to see if Mr. Reed is in attendance. I was hoping one of you would help me on that one, but no one was willing to. And both their callers are unmuted, so, okay. Well, with that, that takes us to item 4, which is the election of the 5th District Alderperson. This is somewhat similar to the way we did for Plan Commission, so I would open the floor for a nomination.
Mayor, I'll make the nomination for Will Licht to fill the position of 5th District Alderperson.
Motion by Ritten.
I'll second that.
Second by Wetzel. Are there any other nominations? All right, Elissa, will you take the roll, please?
Ritten,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Brumline,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went.
Aye.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Licht. Looks like your intuition to call at noon was a good one. I would invite you up. Believe it or not, and I was in your shoes when I started this gig, so you watch out. Creeps up on you pretty quick. You will be sworn in, and you'll take your seat next to Mr. Bartz, and we'll get your term started right away. So the clerk is going to administer the oath. And Elissa, I'm going to ask you just to come up to the mic. Yep, thank you. Sorry. If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, William Licht,
who have been appointed
who have been appointed
alderperson for the 5th District
alderperson for the 5th District
in the city of Watertown.
in the city of Watertown,
Swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially
and will faithfully and impartially
discharge these duties
discharge these duties
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Bring it up to Steve or we're in the packet.
Sure.
And I will share the rest after.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we are taking care of business today. Our next item then is the council appointments to the committee. So I would just ask in the packets, it was obviously TBD, so if you could vocalize in your motion to appoint Mr. Lick to Park Recreation, Public Safety, and Transit, I would appreciate it. Mr. Wetzel.
Second.
So we have a motion for Mr. Lick to be appointed to Park Recreation and Forestry, Public Safety, Transit Commission with a second by Romline. Commentary? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Look, you've been on for 2 minutes, and we already put you on 3 committees. Okay, our next item is the Youth Advisory Committee appointments. Those are in your packets. Is there a motion on those?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve all
I'll
appointments as presented.
Motion by Written.
I'll second.
By Went. I believe many of you are in the room, so I'm going to say your names. It's a little different than what we normally do, but I'd like just, if you could just give us a wave. Riley and Amelia and Logan and Molly. Jake? Thank you, Jake. Owen? Lucy? Isaac? And Sadie? Well, thank you guys for coming this evening. We have a motion and a second. Any comments on this one?
I have a question.
Yes,
Are these all from Watertown High School, or
great question.
parochial schools, or?
Do you guys, if you're not from the Watertown Unified School District, will you raise your hand? Is anyone remotely not from Watertown Unified School District?
I belong to WUSD.
Thank you. And what school do you go to? Lakeside.
I am in the high school.
Thank you. I have, we can provide a more comprehensive.
I was just
summary.
curious.
Yeah,
What we got.
and we
Thank you.
did get a few more applications and we did have seats, but I know we tried to be diverse in interests and age and school so that we had a good kind of cross-section of those that applied.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mayor, what ages are they? From what to what?
It was eligible from 8 to 12, and that's the representation that we have within that range. Anybody else? All right. All those in favor of the appointments, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Congratulations on being the inaugural Youth Advisory Committee. Riley and Amelia and I will be in contact with you soon. Thanks for coming to the meeting. Get used to it. We'll have you come to a bunch more. So thank you guys very much. All right. Then our next item is the City of Watertown Annual Report. This is in your packets. This is the second year, I believe, we've produced this report. We try to put it out by April. It is just a high-level compilation of, not everyday happenings. And we have this spring intern is typically the person who assembles this report. And this year it was Sierra John from Maranatha Baptist University, and she was a tremendous intern. So any questions or comments on anything you have in the report? All right, very good. We also have the 2020 Fire Department Annual Report. I know Chief Biefeld is on remotely, if anyone has any questions for him on that one. All right, very good. Our next item then is the COVID-19 update and discussion. So Carol, just give me 1 minute. All right. Go ahead, Carol.
So I'll just go over our current
data for cases in our community. To date, we've had a total of 2,632 confirmed cases, and 2,618 of those have resolved. We have 14 individuals that are actively infectious with COVID. We have had 204 probable cases. We have 253 suspect. We have 64 open contacts. 3.99% of our positives have been hospitalized, and 43 individuals have passed away from COVID disease. To date, the health department has delivered 7,393 doses of COVID vaccine, and we have been giving Moderna to date. We have given 4,069 first doses and 3,324 second doses. Total doses administered to individuals that live in the city of Watertown, there have been 7,829 first doses, which would include the Johnson & Johnson, which is only a one-time dose vaccine. And then there has been 5,825 second doses of both Pfizer and Moderna. So we've had 6,211 individuals complete their vaccination, or 26% of our population. And then I just wanted to give you a snapshot of where the state is. This is from late last week. So comparatively from where we are at, Wisconsin residents have 33.1% of Wisconsin residents have been fully vaccinated. 80.7% of individuals 65 plus have received at least one shot of one vaccination, and 74.8% are fully vaccinated individuals that are 65 years of age and plus. And then I wanted to share with you, I know this is a little hard to see, and this will be part of our new phased reopening. It'll be an appendix at the end, or our new community guidance, I need to call that. But this was released last week by the CDC and just helps to give people some guidance if they're vaccinated or not vaccinated, if they want to do activities indoors or outdoors, whether they should wear a face mask or not, and activities that they might reconsider doing safely if they fall into one of these categories. And that's it.
All right, the only thing that I will add that Carol alluded to is the health board approved shifting away from the phased reopening plan to just general COVID-19 guidance, and then also approved an updated post. So we won't have, and that will be live Wednesday. So on Wednesday, if you follow the city page, you won't see the graph and numbers, you'll see one image that has those numbers, and then vaccine number, and then whatever is relevant this week. We have a placeholder for like 2 or 3 news items. And then the COVID-19 guidance, which is much more general and has some separation for vaccinated and not vaccinated, will be posted on the website. So those changes will happen Wednesday, tomorrow. Any questions for Carol? Mr. Pash.
Hey, Carol, just one question around the trends of the vaccination. Are you seeing a demand for vaccinations decreasing? And do we, what's the consensus about likelihood for herd immunity based on where the vaccine participation is trending?
Sure. Good questions. So we have seen a significant drop-off in demand for vaccines. We're using a variety of different strategies to reduce barriers for individuals to get vaccine. We've had a few walk-in clinics where we've taken appointments, but we've had vaccine available for anybody if they just wanted to come in, and we've had some success with that. We've also reached out to some employers, and we're working with employers to make vaccine available for their employees at their place of work. We're also working with our long-term care facilities to make vaccine available for both their staff and residents, and working with community members that have other types of barriers. So I think that I've talked about this, and the mayor has as well. We've reached out to our Latinx population and answered their questions, provided information about the vaccine safety, and we've had some success with that as well. We will continue to eliminate barriers where we see them, and try to encourage more individuals to consider vaccination. We're also working very closely with other vaccinators in our community to reduce barriers. So we have a number of pharmacies, our providers in the community, as well as our hospital, are all providing vaccines. So we're working together to make sure that there is vaccine available for individuals when they're wanting it. The other question about herd immunity, to date, research continues with trying to understand population numbers and what herd immunity is. So at this point, there hasn't been a designated benchmark for that, but at the pace that we're going, we have, compared to other vaccine herd immunity rates, we still have a significant way to go. So we'll continue to work on that as more age groups become eligible for vaccination. That will be encouraging, and we'll be working with those populations as well and our other vaccinators. So one thing I didn't mention, because it's still, we're unsure when this will happen, but there is some expectation in the next few weeks that individuals 12 years of age and older will be able to be vaccinated. And currently it's 16 years of age and older. So that is a promising opportunity for younger people to get vaccinated. Long-winded, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I was going to say, so with the decline in demand, we've been strategizing ways to take the vaccine on the road, is the short version.
I was going to say, I trust there's measures we can take to incentivize.
Yeah, we just partnered up with the chamber last week and asked for them to communicate that out to their members. We're working with some of the multifamily housing complexes in the community to see if we can get on site and just kind of remove that barrier of accessibility or schedules. We're starting to offer into the evenings as well, so just trying to be as available as we can be. Any other questions for Carol? Mr. Wetzel?
Just have a question. Carol, this is Bob Wetzel. The last slide we had the, I believe you said the CDC recommendations, or I see a lot of red there.
Carol, I'm no longer sharing my screen, so I'm
okay.
showing the choosing safer activities, the slide from the CDC.
Sure.
I'm just curious, does that have an effect on Watertown, what we're going to try to do or anything, all the red or?
No.
So it really is a guidance, and the side that has the red on it is individuals who are not vaccinated. And there's a variety of reasons that people can't or are not vaccinated. Maybe they can't be vaccinated for a variety of reasons. So it's just a consideration for people to, and I know that probably many of you are getting questions about guidance and have all along. I know the mayor has, and I have. People are wanting some direction, and this just helps to give people some direction. I've mentioned to community members and groups that we were updating our guidance as a community, and people are thankful for that. So this, Alderman Wetzel, this is another piece of that, and it provides guidance to our community members. because it is hard to keep up with the changes. And this is what the current guidance is. This will change again as we have more vaccine coverage in our community, like Alderman Pash had asked. So we just want to be current and provide that support for individuals and answer people's questions.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Anybody else? Questions? All right, thank you, Carol. We have no.
Thank you.
We have no new business, and the next is the accounts payable.
Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayor, I move we pay all accounts payable.
As a first.
It's been a long time.
Actually.
It's been a long time.
That's okay. It's your cadence. You were used to saying it when Mayor David was here. I understand. So we have a motion by Mr. Romline. Was there a second over here?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Schmidt. Any questions on this one? Elissa?
Bromline,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Abstain.
Barth,
Aye.
Lick,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel.
Aye.
All right, thank you. We have reports and miscellaneous business. You'll see the Airport Commission from April 14th, Cable TV and Regulatory Board from April 13th, Park Recreation and Forestry from April 5th and 13th, the payroll summary from April 7th to April 20th, the Redevelopment Authority from April 14th, Senior Center Advisory Board from April 21st, Site Plan Review from April 26th, and the Transit Commission from April 26th. Does anyone have any comments or questions on any of those minutes? All right, very good. We have no licenses, so let's go to ordinances. The first that we have is ordinance 21-21. This is to create a portion of section 500-9A, parking prohibited in specified places of chapter 500, vehicles and traffic of our city code. This is here from Alderman Schmidt and Public Safety and Welfare on its first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Schmidt, second by Wetzel. Anything on this one?
Can I get a brief summary? I saw on the map, it's over by Clausen's, correct?
Essentially, it's their horseshoe that runs between their north and south facility, underneath that causeway that connects it, so it just makes it a little safety for the foot traffic crossing on the street.
Great.
Anybody else? All right, Elissa.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Bromline,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Lick,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye. All right, let's go to resolutions. The first is Exhibit 9210. This is a resolution approving the subdivision development agreement for public improvements in the plat of Grandview Heights, Edition Number 7 of the subdivision in the city of Watertown, Dodge County, between Mary Rose subdivision and the city. This is here from me.
This is Pash. I'll move to Exhibit 9210.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Motion by Pash, second by Written. Does anyone have any questions or comments on this one? Great. Elissa.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Lick,
Abstain?
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Bromline,
Aye.
Thank you. Next is Exhibit 9211. This is a resolution to approve the final plat for Grandview Heights, Edition Number 7. This is here for me and the Plan Commission.
Madam Mayor, I'll move for 9211.
Thank you. Motion by Romline, second by Bartz. Comments or questions? Elissa.
Bromline,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Lick,
Abstain?
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Next is Exhibit 9212. This is a resolution to adopt the right-of-way dedication for Hillendale Court and Beacon Drive identified in the final plat for Grandview Heights, Edition Number 7. This is again here from me and the Plan Commission.
I'll make a motion to approve Exhibit 9212.
Motion by Written,
I'll second.
second by Went. Comments or questions? Elissa.
Britton,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Lick,
Abstain?
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmid,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Bromline,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Went,
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Schultz. I think we got through all of those. Our next is Exhibit, and Mr. Moss. I know that was a lot of legwork. The next is Exhibit 9213. This is a resolution to enter into a contract for a shelter at Clark Park. This is from Alderman Bartz and Park Recreation and Forestry.
I'll move to approve that.
Thank you. Motion by Bartz,
I'll second.
second by Schmid. Comments or questions?
Is this in addition to the shelter already there?
It's a,
Addition,
it's a new
in
shelter.
addition,
It's a new shelter.
new shelter?
Oh,
Where-
going
where,
right by the playground.
by the playground, okay.
We purchased a home there a few years ago and took that down. Or what, did we purchase? Purchased, yeah. But it's going right by the playground. Any other questions? Elissa?
Bart,
Aye.
Licht,
Aye.
Wagner,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Aye.
Wetzel,
Aye.
Bromline,
Aye.
Cash,
Aye.
Wen,
Aye.
Britton,
Aye.
All right, our last one for this evening then is Exhibit 9214. This is a resolution for support of a strong state and local partnership for shared revenue funds for critical services. This is here from me and the Finance Committee.
Madam Mayor, I'll move for 9214.
Thank you. Motion by Romline,
I'll second.
second by Wendt. Comments or questions?
Mayor, for the benefit of the forum, can you summarize this real quick?
Sure. So the current budget that's being presented on the state level has an increase in the shared revenue program, which for us as a city, our two major funding sources are property taxes and our state aids. So the current budget that's been presented has an inclusion of an increase in those state aids and via shared revenue. And what this is saying is we support that and please keep that in the budget in some capacity. And Elissa did provide a write-up to finance that if any of you are interested in, I'm happy to have that sent to you. What you'll see in it is while the population in the city has risen 9% in the last 20 years and the cost of providing services increases, we have lost shared revenue at a rate that makes it increasingly difficult for us to continue to provide service at the level that we do. So to put that in some perspective, in 2001, with our state aids, we received about $3.5 million. Now in 2020, 19 years later, we are we're down over $500,000. And that's not accounting for inflation, increasing costs, increase in population. So we have all those items working against us, and at the same time, an inverse relationship with the funding that we receive. So this is a motion of support for keeping some type of increase for those purposes in the budget.
So this is not tied to local taxes, it's just a state budget purposes?
Yep, shared revenue, nothing tax,
Okay.
nothing on a local tax, no. It's the shared revenue that the state already collects that we're asking to get paid down to us at a rate that is sustainable.
Okay.
Any other questions? As you all know, I really like this topic. So, I see everyone saying, no, move on, call the vote, Elissa. In all seriousness, nothing else? Are you fine with the voice vote? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? All right, very good. Our next item then is comments and suggestions from citizens present. Would anyone wish to speak? Our caller is still unmuted, so we have nothing there. With that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Motion by Wetzel, second by Romline. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? If the youth advisory people, since you hung out, I'd like to just get a photo that we can share. If you want to stay with us for just a second. Thank you, everybody.